Hey guys, Chris from Tillman Family Farms. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys have not liked and subscribed, it would be a big help to us if you would. If you'll go down and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, ring the bell, and you'll see all the videos that we put out. Today's video, I had somebody ask me the other day what was the first thing that we sold when we got into farming and trying to start a farm business. And of course, it was eggs. And egg enterprise is not hard to do, and I don't want to say that we've been very successful at it, but we look at eggs as almost like a gateway to all the other things that we sell. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you how we carton them. I'm going to show you how we collect them, what we clean, what we don't clean. Then I'm going to take you down and I'm going to show you our egg setup. And this will probably tell you just about everything that you need to know to get into egg farming yourself. All right, so we are in our garage that is going to become our farm store here before too long. We have an old cooler here. Eggs that get washed end up in here. And once they get washed, that washes the natural bloom off of the egg. So that's why they get refrigerated that way now. So these are cartoned eggs. We buy cartons, which I will put a link to where we buy these from down in the description. And we also bought a stamp that says Tillman Family Farms on it. So we stamp all of our own egg cartons. We also, on the end there, we have our farm name and address and phone number and all that kind of stuff. So this that you're looking at in these buckets here is probably, I think she said 2, maybe 3 days worth of eggs. We're collecting about 50 to 60 eggs a day right now. So this is basically how we do it. We come in, we take these buckets of eggs, we go through them, and the eggs that are clean, that do not have manure on them or you know, somehow or another rolled out of the trough and ended up with manure on them or feathers stuck to them or anything like that, and we go ahead and automatically stick them into cartons. We'll get the cartons closed up, and then we'll just add them over here. These are all clean eggs, so they will not go in the refrigerator. A lot of our customers would rather have them that way. So that's the biggest thing right there. But make sure you check down in the description. I will put a link to where we buy the cartons from and the company that we bought the stamps from. Okay, so that's a very, very helpful thing there, because you really need to have a professional looking carton and all that stuff when you go to sell eggs. But that's basically packaging and cartons right there. That's basically all you need to know. So guys, before we go down and look at our mobile chicken coop, another thing I'd like to tell you, so you need to check your state's laws. In Georgia, we have to have an egg candling license to be able to grade the eggs and all that type of stuff. So that's one thing that you need to do as well, is get as educated on eggs and the care for chickens as you possibly can. There's tons of information out there on YouTube. There's tons of information out there from you know, Joel Salatin's got a lot of information out there on eggs and egg farming. But you know, the more you know, the better off you'll be as you go into it. And then when you see something come up that happens in your situation, in your farm, you'll know and you'll understand it, and you won't be shocked and all that kind of stuff. So that's a big thing. Check your laws. Make sure that you're doing this lawfully, and study. Big time to study. All right, guys, so we're down here with our egg mobile and our electric fence netting where we have our chickens right this minute. Now, this is how we do it. We started out with a chicken coop. It was just a really large chicken coop with boxes, and we had a really small run in it, and you could do it that way. You have to keep cleaned out a lot. There's a lot more maintenance when it comes to that. You know, chickens are kind of finicky. They want to be in a clean environment as much as they can be, and they want to be in a comfortable environment. You know, light is a big thing for them in the wintertime. So having them in a chicken coop that was stationary near the house, being able to get a cord to that to hang lights in it, was kind of easy. It was a no-brainer. But the more that we grew and the more that we studied the type of farming that we wanted to be in, we decided that we wanted to practice regenerative farming. And chickens are a monster part of regenerative farming. So that's where this eggmobile came in and all this electric fence netting. So basically the eggmobile there, which I'll take you down there and give you a tour of that here in just a second, but the eggmobile is able to be moved around. It's a really good practice to use chickens to follow other animals. So you're always moving all of your animals and putting them on new ground. But those other animals, they leave manure and they leave, you know, the ground all busted up and things like that. Chickens come behind them and clean up. So bugs and grass and things like that, chickens love it. So all of the bugs from manure, they spread the manure, searching through it for bugs and all that. So that's where the eggmobile comes. So we move the eggmobile behind cows, behind pigs, and different places like that. The fence netting is electrified through solar fence chargers. There's several different companies out there that supply that. We have been using a company called Starkline here most recently. You know, as far as solar fence chargers go, Starkline makes them, Premier One makes them, Gallagher makes them, Zebra makes them. I mean, you can get them at Tractor Supply. They're all over the place, and you just have to pay attention and get the right one for your application. Starkline and Premier One sell kits with the solar charger and the fence netting. So those are some good things down there. I'll put some links in the description down below to both of those companies. We actually have a discount code for Starkline, so that may be something I need to check with them and see if that's still active. But that's a big time help, because that's what's going to help keep predation down, and you know, keeps the chickens in. They learn it, they don't fool with it, and it just works out great. But it takes us about oh gosh, so they'll get moved tomorrow morning. We've been trying to keep them close to the house for those lights we talked about. We tried solar lights and it just didn't work out very well. Just wasn't really enough light. But it will take us probably 20 to 30 minutes to move this whole setup. That's take the fence down, go put the fence back up, and you know, that we close them up in the thing at night, the night before. So we come out early the next morning and we move it, and then we just let them back out into a new space. So that's how we confine the birds to get them moved. Other people have two sets of netting, and they'll just set up the next section in the next area. They'll open the two up, they'll pull the coop across, then they'll close all the chickens into a new area. So anyhow, let's go down here and take a look at the coop, and I'll show you how we built it, and I'll try to put some links to the videos where we built this thing. So come along and let's check it out. All right, I'm gonna try to stand somewhere where I'm not blocking this thing, or I'll just get out of this picture. So this is an old boat trailer, and basically what I did was put a frame on top of the boat trailer, and I started building walls and put the tin on it, put a little roof on it. This is an old screen door that was actually on our house at one time. I had to cut it down a little bit because I didn't pay attention, and my wall wasn't high enough. But over here I've got a sliding door. This is how I lock them up at night. This door slides up and down, so I got a little pulley right here and a bolt, and then I can just close that down and they can't get back out. Of course, I've got a little latch that I put on the door there to keep it going, but I'll come back out here later and lock them up for the night. Just got a little ramp built right here to go in and out so they can walk up and down. And then the inside is built out with a really nice roost in there for them, and then nesting boxes. So let me take you inside and show you that. All right, so when we get inside the door here on the left hand side, I have got, so this is 10 foot long. These are 3/4 inch EMT electrical conduit that I used to go across here. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 50 feet worth of roosting space for right at 100 chickens, I would say, and one mallard duck. Anyhow, so we have, golly, sorry guys, the sun is glaring. So the floor is a slatted floor, and it's called Poop Through. And I actually need to clean it out again. I cleaned it out about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but we use automatic feeders in here so that we are assured that they are, so that we are assured that they have enough feed. So that is just a 2-door hog feeder that we have dumped feed in, and that is an old automatic dog food feeder right there. But the nesting box right here is the key to this whole deal. So you want to try to keep your eggs as clean as possible. So this is actually a commercial style nesting box, and these are normally back to back, but the nesting area there is sloped a little bit. So when they lay the egg and they get up, the egg rolls into this trough in the front. And give me just a second and I will open that up and show you. So now that the thing's put back on it, this, and I'm fixing to freak some of them out, but this right here is supposed to close down at night so that they can't get in the boxes and you know, poop in them and everything else and make it terrible to clean them up. But this is 10 boxes and it supports 100 chickens. And I have another one of these that we plan to put on the outside of this coop with a little lean-to shelter over the top of it. But that's pretty well it on the inside of this thing. I can give you a little rundown on the fencing out here real quick. So the fencing, I want to say that we've got 2 brands right here mixed up. So we have some from Starkline and Premier One. They both connect together the same way, so they go pretty well. But the poultry fencing is, of course, the squares on it are a lot tighter together so that the birds can't get through it. But it's really simple. It has 2 stakes on each pole that you push in the ground. You pull it tight, and it's got some extra poles for the corners to help stand it up straight. And then you connect your charger, and it's really simple. You got 1 ground rod, and you got some alligator clips that clip to the fence and clip to the ground rod, and make sure that bad boy's in the sun and you're in business. But move your chickens probably once a week. It is wintertime here right now, so they are kind of bare on forage out here. They eat a little bit more in the wintertime than they do in the summertime. Doesn't get cold enough here to really shut them up in a barn or a coop or anything like that. So they've got a heat lamp inside of this coop right now. That was one thing I didn't show you guys, how I got those in there. Oh, the sun's terrible right now too. See if you can see those. Yeah. So I got 1 heat lamp, and then we just got 2 lights hanging there. Those are a heat lamp type deal, but they're not a heat bulb in there. But the lights are key in the wintertime to keep them laying. So high protein and lights in the wintertime, and they will keep spitting out eggs like crazy. One last thing that I would like to go over before I close this video down, because this is something that we get a lot of questions about, and it's something that we didn't really think about. We know we're making a little bit of money, but we don't know how much. So this year we've decided to create tracking sheets for all of our livestock. So cows, pigs, meat birds, and egg birds. And what those tracking sheets will consist of is, like for eggs, it would be how many chickens do we have down there, and it would have a section for how many eggs collected each day, how many pounds of feed did you put in the feeders, and how many times a week, and things like that, so that you can track the cost. There'll be a line item in there for labor as well. So if I went down there today, I spent probably 30 minutes with the chickens. Tomorrow when we move them and fill up all the feeders and fill up all the waters and things like that, that may be 30 to 45 minutes, you know. So it really just depends, but we want to track the labor, we want to track the cost of feed, and we want to track how many birds and how much are they producing. so that once we sell those, we can really take a cost comparison of what we're spending on them versus what we're bringing back in. And that way, that's going to tell us if our prices are too high or too low or whatever, or if they're just right. You know, last year we probably sold about 600 dozen eggs. We probably produced closer to 900 or 1,000. We gave a lot of eggs away. Like I said earlier, eggs are kind of a gateway to farming products. So, you know, you run across somebody that says, "Oh, I've never had farm fresh eggs." Well, here's a dozen. Take them home, dry them out, and then they're hooked. You know, so we gave away a lot. We ate a lot. We gave some to family. You know, things like that. So it would have been really hard for us last year to really tell how many we could have produced and what we would have made. So eggs are kind of a novelty for us because of the way that we do them. And it really depends on your area too. You need to really pay attention and see how much other people are selling them for in your area, and don't be astronomically cheaper and don't be astronomically higher. You want to kind of meet right there with everybody else, so that, you know, everybody can stay on the same level playing field. People are going to buy the eggs, hands down. You'll have people that will come and buy 4 or 5 dozen at a time. You'll have people that drive 25 to 30 miles to come get eggs. And when they come to get eggs, in our case, they buy pork chops and sausage and things like that too. So whole chickens, all that good stuff. But I did want to go into the tracking part of it, because that's going to be important for you to be able to track how much you spend versus how much you make per carton of eggs. You're gonna have to figure a lot of things into that too. You're gonna have to figure in how much it costs to buy your cartons. Obviously, the more that you buy at one time, the less they are per carton. You know, 35 to 50 cents a carton is probably what you're gonna end up paying for the really nice ones. But nice packaging, and feed them nice feed. Take care of them, keep them in a good, safe, clean environment that they like. They'll let you know if they're happy or not. And you should be able to start an egg enterprise on your own and get it up and going in next to no time. I really hope that this video helped you guys out and that you learned something from it. If you have any other questions, something that you feel like I may not have covered or something that you may have seen somewhere else, please feel free to ask any questions down in the comments, and I will most definitely get in there and answer them. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you on the next video.